Alright lads, the other day I watched a video on the Runescape YouTube channel for an hour, right? It was a Q&A, question and answer if you can't work that one out, with Mark Gerhard, the CEO, and Daniel Clough, who I've never heard of myself, but apparently he's worked there 10 years. So anyways, there was some really good questions asked from people like us, wondering why we've got the squeal of steel in our face every day, and oh, it's the other one there, the purple-faced twat, oh yeah, Solomon's Runecoin robbery. But who was that interviewer? Who is he? Get him off next week. Get me on. Right, I could have done a better job than him. All he did, right, he read the questions out, and then he sat in his armchair melting away because he was scared to say anything else, because the big guys were in front of him with a bit of money, you know. I would have told them straight. There was some really good questions there that didn't get a good response, and I would have backed some of them up. So what I've decided to do today is talk about some of them and tell you how Mod Mark is completely wrong. On to my first point. Mark said somewhere down the line, 90% of RuneScape players support the Squeal of Fortune. Now, the interviewer asked him this, and he said, what I mean by that is utilise, which is use. He said 90% are using it every day, and that's still the case today. I believe that, yeah. So then he said, yeah, I think for me, I took the measure, if people are using it to such an extent, he said it was the most used bit of content, it's got a place in the game. That's some decent logic, that. Right, let me give you some facts why so many people do use it. It's because every time we log on, it's thrown in our face, and it gets in the fucking way, so I use it. I'll take me free spins, by the way, any day of the weekend. If you want to give me 6 a day, you're more than welcome. I'm not going to pay you a penny. If I had the option tomorrow to get that silly green goblin with big fucking ears to get off me screen, I would wipe it off right away. And let's be honest, who will say no to free cash? It's just funny how they think they're right on every question. I mean, 850 likes, 3,700 dislikes, that tells you a lot, doesn't it? Some of the questions were funny, though. One guy asked, are you using the money from the micropayments, i.e. Squeal, to line your own pockets, i.e., you know, make more money? And he was like, no. Come back with a smart reply. He was like, we're using the money to reinvest. Well, reinvesting to me is making money, or using the money that you make to make more money. So just be honest, you know, you're making more money from them. End of. Mark, and his wise words, said the whole idea of Squeal is a random way to provide resources to encourage players to try more content, which I think is nonsense myself. I mean, it's not Age of Empires. What's on about resources, cash in it? We only play Squeal to get cash and XP. And he said a lot of focus on XP. As I say, it's only a portion. Mate, it's not a portion. Everyone plays Squeal for XP and cash. It's fact. And you can't deny that. And he said if he took his own credit card and say, I'm going to buy XP today, you can't. He said you can't, but mate, watch videos on YouTube. If you know about all this, if you read the forums, people can actually buy XP and they can make the best XP in the game. So there we go. I've completely slated you on that one as well. Mark stated that people are under the impression that the content is now diluted because of these micro payments. Well, maybe it isn't. You are doing things, but are you bringing things out that are actually good? No. Botany Bay, for example. Do you really think I'm going to have loads of fun choosing the fate of a bot's death? And also think about it like this. You know that they're giving them free warnings? Well, that is so that their membership can keep running for a longer time. The first warning, they get a temporary ban. Second warning, temporary ban again. But they'll be still paying membership over them days. Not only that, you are giving the bot a chance. If that bot has got a second warning already, he knows one more, the account's basically going to be gone. So he will transfer that money onto an account where he knows it's safe, and then he'll just play in a risk state. It's not going to do much. Now, I completely buy the idea that they need money to keep going. I have no problem with that. The problem I have, it's turning into too much of a business. Like, the whole game that was there to provide fun is kind of being lost. You only have to go to free-to-play, for example. You see it advertised on the telly, which they're using the money to, you know, advertise on telly. You must have seen it now. It looks nothing like RuneScape. If that person seeing that went on the website, logged in, you get spammed by gold farming sites. You get kids saying I've just been scammed, dancing for money. They'll log right out right away. And not only that, there's adverts, 30-second adverts, and the free-to-play is completely dead. Compare that to a couple of years ago. How many people? You have thousands in loads of different worlds. There's like 100. How can you interact? It's not an interactive game anymore, really, in them senses. So that's my opinion on this. I don't usually watch videos on the RuneScape channel because they're all shit, but I found I had to listen to what they had to say, and it is a shame the direction it's kind of heading in. I think with all like an old school server, and then you can do what the hell you want with the other.